So I just got off the phone from one of the most high-profile breakfast radio show hosts in Australia, but we weren't talking about radio. We were actually talking about cars. And there is a PR angle here. In fact, a very strong one. Because what happened in those few minutes powerfully demonstrated the whole idea of how to do something that sticks in people's minds. For a few minutes of effort, and I mean literally, I think it's taken maybe a total of 5-6 minutes of his time, I've just had what I think will leave a lifelong impression on me. So let me give you a bit of context. So I think, as you know by now, I'm living in Australia, and one of the things I've needed to do is to buy a car. So I started looking around. There's lots of expensive cars in Australia. It is so much more expensive than Britain. This place is certainly not cheap, but I couldn't find the right sort of thing for the right sort of price, for the quality, and that sort of thing. So a good friend of mine who I know and have known for quite a few years knew this radio show presenter, so he connected me with him. You know, this presenter didn't know me from anyone else. He's got thousands and thousands and thousands of listeners. But he called me on my personal mobile and said, "Hi, welcome to Australia." We had a bit of a chit-chat, and he asked me what sort of car I was looking for. So I said, I've been looking around, looking for different things. We started talking about cars, different makes and models of cars, what we liked about them, and this kind of thing. The whole call, I think, lasted probably, as I say, sort of maybe 6-7 minutes. So then he said, okay, well, let me see what I can find. And then from what he told me, he used his sales team to basically go and do some digging. And sure enough, he contacted me back. Not some assistant, but he contacted me back. And he connected me with a car dealer. And he said that he had put in a good word for me with that dealer to make sure that I got a good deal. Now, if you think about it, he didn't really do anything unusual. I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying this. He connected me with an advertiser, but he put in a good word. But the impression that left was the fact that he took his time, not some junior or something like that, an assistant, but the way it came across was that he took his time to do something for me. Here's this big celebrity presenter, and he was ringing me up, asking me how I was getting on all this. The feeling I got was that this person genuinely cared, was getting nothing back from me, and it came across as the fact that he wanted to help me and would pull some strings for me. Now, you can see how this personal touch can be used from everything, from customer service within our organizations, to relationships with journalists, to the way we write social media. But is it worth doing this kind of real personal one-on-one care for someone? You know, is it worth us trying to adopt this sort of thing within our organizations? Well, if you think about it, because of those few minutes, it's generated some fantastic PR for him, but not just some PR for him, but for his organization. Now, I'm not going to share his name in this particular episode, but I've told so many people about this now. I, in effect, have been doing a bunch of word-of-mouth advertising for him and his radio station for free. The actions he took to help me, just one person, has actually reached many, many more people. But also, I now personally feel a bit of a bond with him. You know, it doesn't take science to know that when someone does something for us, maybe we feel compelled, maybe we feel obligated, but we want to be nice back to them. If that station, if that organization, if your organization never gets in trouble and you've developed that relationship, then the person that you've helped is going to be far more likely to jump to your defense on social media or wherever and become an advocate against the critics. And probably the people I've spoken to as well would think, well, that radio station's a good one, so these criticism can't be relevant. So by helping me, by helping one person, he actually did far more than that for the PR for the station and its future. So how could you apply that this week? I was thinking about this. Here's an obvious way, and I was discussing this actually with a head of PR at a firm the other day about how useful this is as a technique if you don't already do it. Have you spotted a story that a journalist hasn't heard about, or knows someone who knows something about a big story that perhaps journalists haven't come across yet? Even if it's nothing to do with what you do. And in many ways, it's actually better if it's nothing to do with the story you want to put across. And then you let the journalist know. You help them out. You help them do their job with an apparent no cost to you at all. So if you ring them up with a line like, you know, hello, this is nothing to do with my company, but I saw you were running a story on X, and I actually know someone who might be able to help you on that story. They're far more likely to respond, but more, they're likely to remember the help you gave them once, and then when you want to pitch a story, be far more likely to run it or help you convert it with a little bit of massaging into a story that would run. There's certainly a lot of stuff we can do here. Helping one person is often about getting your message out to loads more and building real brand loyalty. I think there's so many other ways you can actually apply this, but I'm running out of time. The website is thepublicrelationspodcast.com. The news site is nearly there. I've said this for 3 weeks now. I keep doing some traveling, so it's really hard to get it done, but it is coming. I assure you it is coming. You'll find me also on LinkedIn by searching for my name. My name is Richard Midson, if we've not connected before. So that's LinkedIn, Richard Midson. If you live in Melbourne, Australia as well, then do let me know. I would love to meet up over the coming months. Although next week, I'm actually going to be in Denver, Colorado, giving a talk on podcasting and engagement. But after that, do let me know. It would be fantastic to meet up with you. Right, I'm going to work on the website right now, and then I need to get started for some preparation for Denver next week. Whatever you are up to over the next 7 days, have an absolutely awesome week, and I will talk to you again very soon.